What's going on, everybody? Hey, it's AJ. Today is chest day. Starting off with bench press, 135 pounds, 14 reps. Very controlled motion. I'm not just pumping them out. I'll be nice and warmed up after this set, so no need to go really quick. Nice to just keep it really smooth. Work out some small kinks, and then I'll be ready to work up to my actual work sets. Now, today's workout was quite interesting because I found myself not really counting reps. Well, I counted the reps, but I wasn't aiming for a specific number of reps. I kind of went with my feeling on how you know how much work was being done to my muscles. So you guys will see an odd number of reps, like for example, the first set of bench press, 14 reps. I mean, who does 14 reps? Usually it's 8 to 10, 10 to 12, or up to 20, but I did 14. Anyway, you guys will see a little bit of that. This is 185. Now, if you watched my first chest video for this new program, the weight's going to be the same just about for every workout until next month, when I increase my work sets up by 5 pounds. And for my lower body, I'll be increasing the weight by 10 pounds. So it's going to be pretty much the same thing as far as the main lift, which is chest today. And here we are, starting with the first set of my actual work set, 245 pounds for 5 sets and 5 reps each set. Now, I'm going to take the spotlight off of me for just a second. If you guys can look in the background and see what those guys are doing, you can see that there's weight on one side of the bar and the kid is benching the bar. I'm guessing they were trying to, make sure that their strength was even on both sides, but in my opinion, that is not a good idea. One, it's dangerous, and two, your body will work out imbalances, but it will always be biased towards one side. So if you're somebody who notices that their left arm is stronger than their right arm, or vice versa, guys, it's going to happen with just about everybody. It happens with me, and there's really nothing to worry about. My suggestion would be to continue to work your muscles just as even. Don't offset anything. Don't do extra reps. I mean, you can experiment with it and see what happens. Everybody's different, but in my opinion, I would just say keep it even. And we're coming up on final work sets for bench press. And another thing, guys, for this program, I like to keep the workouts short but really intense. Not a lot of exercises, but heavy weight all the time. I do that so I can maximize my rest time between days and between sets during a workout, and that will give my body the opportunity to grow. Now, this is the last set. Now, on this set, I basically go till failure. I only get out four reps, and I knew I could consistently do 5 reps, but the fact that I didn't have a spotter, didn't want to risk it, didn't want the bar landing on my neck, so I stopped for just a second, regained my focus, caught my breath a little bit, and then I picked the bar up and got that last rep. I'm not going to be half-assing anything, guys, and I suggest you do the same. There we go. I take that back. This is the set where I fail. And I'm not going to fix what I just said because this video is too long to do voiceover, so yeah, there I am, catching my breath, and then now I'm going to go do an extra. So sorry about that if I confused anybody. And there we go. Last rep. And we are done with bench press. And we're going to be moving on to calf extensions. Now, for my calf raises, or calf extensions, because I'm extending, I'm not really raising myself up, I did this on the leg press, the only leg press in the gym. Well, I take that back, the only 45-degree angle leg press in the gym. And the way I do my calf raises is I do them quickly and with explosiveness, because I noticed that my calves respond very well with my calves and my legs respond very well with explosive exercises. So what I do here is I did about 30 reps on the first set to warm up for 315 pounds, moved up to 405 pounds. And another thing I do with this exercise is I always keep a slight bend in my knees, and that's to avoid any sort of shock going through my knees, and I never lock my knees. It may look like I'm locking my knees, but I'm not. Trust me, guys. The last thing I want to do is ruin my knees, make them worse than they already are, and not be able to go up in my squat. So really, really quick pumps, I guess you could call them that. Really pump out the reps, and like I said, here's another example of an odd number. 21 reps, not just 20. Like I said, guys, I go by feeling, and I just don't aim for a number of reps and I'm not just satisfied with that. I'll see how many I can do, and I work by feeling. So I did quite a few sets of calf extensions. And the interesting thing about this leg press is that it's a composite motion leg press. I can do maybe 500 pounds on this leg press, but then if you go to a traditional leg press where it's just sliding, I can do maybe like 900 pounds. So my workload is cut down by 50% on this leg press. And what I mean by composite motion is that it rotates towards the top, which incorporates more parts of your leg, forces you to recruit more parts of your legs, and it really does work your legs, but I'd still prefer the traditional leg press. And this is a terrible angle. Guys, you're going to have to get used to me. I'm starting this new program. I have nobody to film for me as of yet, and it's really hard to get the right angle. So I apologize for that. You guys get a nice view of the back of my deltoid, my posterior deltoid. So I moved the camera around to the angle and got a better angle. I'm gonna work on this next time. Make sure you guys can get a good view of what's going on instead of these really awkward angles. Last set, 495 pounds. That's 5 plates on each side. Now, I'm going to say 495 pounds because I'm going to assume that the machine, without any weight on it, weighs 45 pounds, the amount of Olympic bar. Not quite sure, but I've done leg presses with no weight on the machine, and I'm going to say it was about 45 pounds. So we'll leave it at that. So that was my last set of calf raises. Now, if you guys watched my first video, which was, I started off with chest last week, I did French press. And I said in the video that I didn't like the French press. I didn't like how it made me feel, and I couldn't really isolate my triceps as much. So I switched to skull crushers, which you see me doing here. And the funny thing about this, first set was actually a waste of time because I wasn't thinking and totally forgot that triceps are a secondary muscle when doing bench press. So my triceps were still warmed up from the bench press, and I basically just wasted time doing that one rep. So I just quickly jumped up to, this is not my workload, but I skipped one set in between. I believe it's supposed to be 45 pounds in between, but I went up a lot quicker, and my reps are starting to decrease now because we're getting towards the workload. And I definitely prefer the skull crushers over French press any day. A lot more. It's a much better exercise for stability and really isolates your triceps if you do it correctly. I do my best to keep my elbows in, not to let them flare out. Then it'll become just a press. Now it looked like I just got up and went back down. That's just some fancy editing. Actually, that was a mistake. Don't let that trick you guys. There was rest in between there. This is a totally different clip. So we're at 70 pounds. Now these are going to be my work sets. This one set right here, I did 6 reps. And then the next few sets, I did 5 reps. Obviously because I'm beginning to fatigue. Different angle for you guys. last 2 sets of skull crushers. And I'm going to say this again, guys. Form is really important when doing skull crushers. If you don't do them right, you're going to be hitting different muscle groups instead of your triceps. And last set. And another thing I noticed is that usually when people do skull crushers, they like to do like pump out a few chest press after that. I mean, I guess that's okay. I mean, I'm not going to be doing it because I just don't really need to. It's not enough weight for me to really, really benefit from. I guess it really further fatigues the triceps just with a different exercise. So that's up to you guys. You guys can do what you like. Another awkward view. These are barbell preacher curls. These were quite challenging. Not only because they're barbell preacher curls, but I also had an ache in my back. I guess I kind of pulled something in my upper back, so it was kind of hard to really keep my body from going forward. I had to give my body some slack to take some tension off my back, because the weight is like pulling my whole torso forward, and then that pulls on my back, and that was like killing me. So I had to like kind of lean forward every rep. So I'm not trying to cheat or anything, but I really did want to get this exercise done, and my back was killing me, so I had to compensate form a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with compensating form every once in a while, especially if you're avoiding an injury. But that's up to you guys how much you guys want to take away from form versus the benefits of doing a powerlifting program like I am. So basically this is pretty much the same weight for the next few reps. Now chances are I'm probably going to tone it down on my biceps and triceps, because my arms, I noticed in the past 3 years that my arms will be the first ones to adapt to a new program, meaning in this case they will be the first ones to grow. So after a while I might decrease the amount of sets or decrease the weight, probably decrease the amount of sets. As you can see here, I'm really feeling it here. It got really tough. And one thing you guys won't see is after this exercise, I did 2 sets of some hammer curls, and that was just to further pump the blood into my arms, because I really wasn't feeling a pump there. So that's one thing that I do to make sure I have a good workout. And that is chest for week 2. Here is the summary of the entire workout. Make sure you guys subscribe to ajFitness, follow me on Twitter at Fitness with AJ, and like the Facebook fan page. Peace out, you guys.